Let's begin on your yoga mat in any comfortable seated position. Inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth, and close down your eyes as you take 3 deep breaths. Inhale into your stomach and exhale out. Again, breathe in and out. Last time in and out. Let's go ahead and come forward into all fours. So if you need to clarify your position on your mat, feel free to do that. And if this is ever uncomfortable on your wrists, you can grab some dumbbells or parallettes that look like this so you can save your wrists a little bit. We're going to just start with a cat-cow. We'll take an inhale, drop your stomach toward the ground as you look up toward the ceiling. Exhale, curl underneath yourself, press into your hands, bring your chin to your chest. Inhale and arch, and exhale, round. If you get out of sync with your breath here, try not to worry about it. We're just moving around in our bodies, seeing what feels good. You don't need to take it too seriously. You're not going to win yoga or lose yoga if you don't breathe right. If it feels good and you want to take some shifts from side to side, you can do that now. Just bringing one shoulder a little closer to the hip and letting the other side stretch. Let's see how it feels. Let's come back to center. Set your knees out a little bit wide and bring your hips down toward your feet. Let yourself soften toward the ground with your arms long in a child's pose. If you want to keep this more passive and you just want to relax on the mat, you can do that. If you want to be a little bit more active, you can take an inhale. Press your hands into the ground and drag them toward you a little bit. You'll feel your shoulders stretch differently. Take a big breath in and an exhale out. And if you want to move this stretch around, you can walk your hands over to the side, visiting that side stretch like we did in the cat-cow. Inhale into that long side, get long across your ribs. And exhale, try and find a little length. When you're ready, we'll come back to center and then walk our hands over to the other side, getting nice and long on the other side. Breathing in and breathing out. If you want to fidget and wiggle around here, you can. Or if you want to hold still, that works too. Feel free to use these as a suggestion. You don't need to do this exactly the same way I am. And when you're ready, let's come back to center. Inhale, let's roll back up into that all fours position. And we're going to take a thread the needle. So you're going to pick up one hand and reach it up toward the ceiling. You might find that you're a little sideways, and that's okay. Just think about inhaling and bringing your chest forward. And then exhale. As you take your hand, you're going to thread it behind your other arm. Your arm, shoulder, and head come down toward the ground. And just breathe into your shoulders here. If this feels good, you can stay here. If you want a little extra, you can take this hand and wrap it around your body. But don't worry if you have to force it. Please let that go for today. Go ahead and plant your hand on the ground. Inhale is going to spin your other hand back up toward the ceiling, the same hand that did before. Then you're going to go ahead and replace that hand back to all fours. Switch over to the other side. Inhale reaches you up toward the ceiling. Try and get long on your chest and light on your hand. And exhale, let's thread the needle, hand, shoulder, and head coming down onto the mat. Taking any little wiggles here that are needed. Maybe wrapping that arm if that feels good. When you're ready, plant this hand on the ground. Inhale, reaching back up toward the ceiling, and then back to all fours. We're going to do a chest opener next, And if anything feels too intense, feel free to modify or skip it entirely. It's up to you. You're going to go ahead and begin by just finding a little bit of tension in our abdomen here. So trying not to be rounded into our back or dropped into our belly. Just keep your tailbone tucked and your ribs tucked just so you have a nice flat back. Extend one leg out back behind you, and then you're going to extend your arm as well. Find a little bit of balance here. Think about getting really long and reaching away, not so much getting really high. Then you're going to bend your leg and then reach your arm back and see if you can grab hold of your foot. If you can, that's cool. If you can't, just reach for it. Don't worry about it. If you do have your foot and you want a little bit more, you can inhale, push your foot into your hand a little bit to raise your chest up. If you tend to be a little bit more on the very bendy, hypermobile side of the world, make sure you're not locking out your elbow and keeping it soft. On your next exhale, go ahead and let that go. We'll sink down into a child's pose. And then inhale. Let's come back to all fours and switch to the other side. Extend one leg out long, hand comes out long. Take a second here to find this pose, and then bend your leg, reach your hand back, grab hold of your foot. If this happens for you today, you can lift up. If not, don't worry about it. Take a couple of breaths here, trying to get long across your chest and not locking out your elbow. And then go ahead and let that go. Soften down to the ground. From here, we're going to come back to all fours. You're going to tuck your toes, press your legs up, your hips up toward the ceiling for a down dog. Once you get here, you can walk out your feet. Maybe shift a little side to side if that feels okay. Just try on this position and see what works. When you're ready, we're going to take a walk up to our hands. So feet are going to step, step, step up toward your hands. Knees stay as soft as they need. And once you get there, you're going to take a big forward fold. Knees are soft. And just relax your body onto your thighs. Inhale to a flat back, straightening your legs a little bit and looking ahead of you. And then exhale, we're going to drop down into a deep squat. So from here, you might have to bring your hands on the ground. Your heels might come up. That's totally okay. If it's comfortable for you to come down into a full squat with your heels down, you can do that. Hands can be wherever they need to for you to feel supported. From here, we're going to go ahead and straighten back into that fold. Knees stay as soft as they need to. Take a second here in this fold to breathe in and out. Then with soft knees, we're going to roll ourselves nice and slow up to standing. Once you get there, float your arms up. Inhale, breathe into your chest. And exhale, dive it down, finding that fold again. Knees are soft. And then drop your hips down into that squat. Heels can come up. Hands can support you on the ground. On your next inhale, we'll come back to that fold. Soft knees, roll yourself up to stand. Inhale, breathe your arms up, lift yourself up and maybe a little bit back if that feels okay. And exhale, dive it down. Find that fold again. And then from that fold, let's come down into our squat for the last time. If you want to, you can shift a little bit from side to side, or if you'd prefer to stay still, that works. If you want to do some little rotations, similar to that thread the needle where you reach behind you or up toward the ceiling, you can try that on now. And if it's not happening for you today, don't worry about it. For the last time, let's roll into that fold. And then soft knees rolls you up to standing. Inhale, breathe your arms up. And exhale floats your arms down. Take a second here with your eyes closed. Big breath in and big exhale out. That's going to be the end of our practice. I hope you had a really nice time doing this, and I'll see you again soon.